X's and O's. This is the best what we do and what we know. So let's go. Hey. What's up, y'all? What's going on, man? What's going on with my people up out there today? I hope that everybody's having a fantastic day. You are now tuned in to Sports with Truck and Chubby. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, go ahead and share me with your friends and your family. Do not keep me all to yourself. Everybody that's out there listening, just sit back, relax, cruise, take your time out. It's all good, man. But today, man, gotta have a little bit of conversation, man. Gotta go get these babes a little bit here. I like 3. So I figure I'm gonna jump up on here, man. Get it live from my people one time. Have a live from all my peoples and all that and whatnot. You better get up on here while you still can, cause StreamYard gonna be down in a minute. You know what I'm saying? You dig. But look, transfer portal got this jumping like crazy. I'll get into that a little bit here later. I think what I want to do first, though, I want to get into talking about Bill Belichick going to UNC. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Bill Belichick going to the University of North Carolina and taking that job there. Mike Lombardi being the GM there. I think that just upped the ante for North Carolina. Will they put big expectations on him? I don't know. But what I will say before I even get into more of this Bill Belichick thing is that I give the credit to Coach Prime and his staff over there at Colorado and what they was able to do in the 2 years they were over there. Why you say that? Dad, Chucking, you've been so critical of Coach Prime, and now you're giving him credit for something else. Well, let me explain that, right? I say that because if you look at the way that they got this thing rolling in only 2 years there in Colorado, and now you see he just gave the blueprint pretty much. Long story short, he just gave everybody the blueprint on how to build the college team, what to offer these players, what could I offer these players, because I know I can't give them everybody millions and millions of dollars like an Ohio State or Michigan or etc. You know what I mean? Some of them big name schools that have a lot of alum, a lot of fans, 100,000 people in the seats. What could I offer these guys? Well, I can get the best coaches possible in here, prepare them for the NFL, have them NFL ready, even if they're going to get a walk-on type of job to an NFL roster. I got the connections, you know what I'm saying, to plug them in to get them with certain guys, in the NFL, and I could give them a decent little bag. They still in college, you know what I'm saying? Most of them here on a sports scholarship. I gave them a sports scholarship, gave them a decent little bag, and I'm preparing you for the NFL or for life. You can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Coach Prime in Colorado and that staff has done at Colorado in 2 years. And look, we can say we want, but the 10-2 record, it proves that in 2 years to go he went from 4-8, from winning 4 games to 10 games in a year span. That's amazing. And now you see what Belichick getting a job at UNC, bringing Mike Lombardi in there. Mike Lombardi and Bill Belichick, you'd be a fool of anything. You'd be a straight up fool not to want to take a position as a player at University of North Carolina right now. You feel me? Like, I know y'all hearing me with that, right? It would be crazy, absolutely crazy, not to take a job at get a football position at UNC right now. I don't know if he'll get his son. I'm speculating on that. I don't know if it's a fact or not, but his son is a coach, a defensive coordinator up at Washington right now with Jad Fish. And I don't know if if he's going to stay with Jad Fish or if he's going to go to UNC with his dad. He's a decent defensive coordinator, or Belichick will probably just get his own entire staff over there to North Carolina. And hey, Belichick like him young anyway. He probably get him a young college girl student or something. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just being funny a little bit, but I think it's a great move. And also, now that I gave the credit to Coach Prime and what they were able to do in the blueprint of this new age college way, and what you can offer them, because that's what it is nowadays. What can you offer me to get me ready for the next level? He has all that there, but he has, let's just keep it a buck. Coach Prime is he's popular. I would say Belichick is almost, it's a bigger name as Coach Prime. If not, you know what I mean? Brand wise, I wouldn't say that brand wise. Maybe business wise, you could probably make that argument. But Belichick is very popular. He's very polarizing character person, and he has probably two or three times the connections in the NFL that Coach Prime has. Let's just be honest. He does. You know what I'm saying? First of all, if y'all just want me to be frank with this and upfront and not sugarcoating, then he has the complexion for the connection. Number one, let's just keep that a buck. You feel me? Like, and then on top, and then he also has been there for so long that a lot of his ex players that he went to Super Bowls with in the early 2000s are now coaches. I thought Mike Vrabel was a hell of a coach. I don't know why. I thought he was a hell of a coach. I liked the way his style was. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out. I don't think Mike Vrabel had the right staff around him, but I thought Vrabel was a good coach. That's just my opinion. But he was the head coach. You got Gerard Mayo right now, and that's up at New England. That's taking over. Those are just two that I could think of off top right now, and that's from under the Bill Belichick tree. That was actually player. Teddy Bruschi is very, very well respected sports analyst right now of ESPN. I respect the heck out of all Teddy Bruschi's takes, because he's very smart, articulate, and his knowledge of the game is like next to none. And Teddy Bruschi was one of the best linebackers in football in the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? If you mention the early 2000s, defensive players, it probably, and I know in my circle, it was like it went Palomalu, Ray Lewis, Teddy Bruschi, Terrell Suggs. You know what I mean? Names like that popped up for me in the early 2000s. And just with that being said, and there's so many much more people. Vince Wilfork, so many, man. There's a lot of people out there that's sports analysts on ESPN that have high school connections, that are high school coaches, the guys that are in the NFL, as all over. So he has all the connections, man. He knows a lot of head coaches. He knows a lot of GMs, a lot of general managers in the NFL, and owners respect Belichick and what he's able to do and what he was able to do up there. I mean, Robert Kraft is one of the most well-known owners in the NFL for NFL teams. So, and Belichick was underneath him. I'm just explaining just for those who may not know. And now you got that there. Like, man, this is just it's gonna be, this is an amazing ride for anybody. And I had to talk about it. So when you see UNC on the title, that's exactly what this is about. Bill Belichick. And I knew that a lot of people would talk about it today, probably, and it's probably been spending a lot because it's huge news. Like, it really is. Like, I think that's really big news. The fact that he's in college football, and some people walked away because because they were used to the old system, and then they jumped in this new system. But now you got guys like, for Coach Prime, and now you got Bill Belichick, and what Jad Fish, he's been around, and some of these guys, and Matt Rule, know how to handle the air quote free agency period of college football. Now you have a couple of them, you know what I'm saying? In NFL, you got the one free agency period, like, okay, boom, let's get it. But now in college football, you got a couple different ones. But when you got so much to offer, as much as a Belichick does to a player, it's just like I think that's how you lock things down, man. There's so much he can offer, man. It's amazing. I think that's just crazy, and I had to open up with that because I love what college football is able to do right now and what they're doing right now, and you need that disciplinary thing. Now they saying that I hear a lot of people. I heard a couple of takes today, and people saying, well, Belichick is the right guy. He's the right, firm disciplinary type character that college football need. Well, um, that's exactly the old school type of person that Coach Prime is, and that's why his team has responded the way that they are. That's why, you know, uh, and it shows, you know what I'm saying? Maybe not with the penalties on the field, this year because the referees are just inconsistent as ever with calls, period, in my opinion. But, you know, with the culture that he has set around there, period, point blank, I got to give him props on that because you don't hear about nobody driving drunk, hitting deers and bears and elks and wolves out there in the woods in Colorado. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear nothing about that kind of stuff. You just straight up, they're out there going to school. You hear a lot about people getting straight A's, draft picks, and you don't hear nothing about none of the players up there, which is a good thing. And considering, you know, where he come from and the things that these young men like to do, especially having a successful football team, parties be jumping, when you're winning. But man, I'm excited to see already what's going to be happening next year or the type of players that he's going to be able to bring in to that system. I don't think that a lot of the players transitioning over and leaving the Belichick thing, transitioning right over into the transfer portal thing, aside, and I'll get this transfer portal pulled up because as live updates, it's just been almost every hour there's a new player jumping in the portal from somewhere. Now I have noticed that a lot of players have gotten homes, and I'm gonna pull that up for y'all, and I'll talk people through it. Those out there that just only can listen to me audio wise and really can't look at the screen and rocking with me anyway. I appreciate that, by the way. Um, but yeah, it's been crazy. This transfer portal has just been absolutely crazy, man. It's like you wouldn't believe it, man. You wouldn't believe it if I told y'all, man. It's been absolutely crazy. I gotta click on it so I could what happened, man? Because it's not letting me look at the transfer portal. I think it's trying to send me somewhere else or something like that right now. And that's why I'm trying to look at it, y'all, and it's trying to send me somewhere else, which is crazy. Maybe I just need to just search transfer portal. I don't know why it's not coming up the way that it normally does, asking me to join and all that. Like, I don't need to join and see the transfer portal, bro. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, for real though, I like you don't need to join nothing. Okay, so now I got it pulled up here. I don't know, maybe I think that's zoomed in pretty good for those that can see, and that is following along. Maybe you can see that right there. So Eric Singleton, see, like I just checked it too. I didn't even see him in there. I didn't even know he jumped in there that quick like that. That's crazy. I didn't even know Eric Singleton jumped in there, but that was on the ninth. Eric Singleton Jr., the wide receiver from Georgia Tech. I didn't see that. I must have missed that one. But you could just click live on there, and it just goes right to the live updates. That's how many people's just being recorded to jump in there. So, just taking a quick look at this list. I mean, I don't really know a lot of these guys, and a lot of these guys don't got homes right now, which is crazy to me because it's bowl season, man. I made a video talking about that a little bit more in detail, a little bit about how I felt about that. I'm not going to keep harping on that, but the guys who are leaving teams and not have a team to go to, I really respect that. You know what I'm saying? And those who don't, it's just like it's kind of a waste of your time to just be in there because you'll probably be in there for a while up until somebody, you know, pick you up. But one name that did stand out to me, I seen Deshaun Womack from LSU went the edge went to Ole Miss. I said I peeped that. I thought that was a decent move by Ole Miss. Connor Wegman, a quarterback from Texas A&M, transferred over to Houston. All right, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy because now the Big 12 is trying to get their stain up, right? You got him going over to Houston. um, which is crazy to me because I think he's a decent quarterback. Over at Houston, I think that he'll be able to run that offense. If you could see Connor Wegman in that offense that they was running over at Houston, I think that that's a good fit. And I hopefully I don't know just looking into it, but I want to see if they can get some more weapons on the outside of that. Now, and this is what stood out to me because I've actually seen Devin Dampier go crazy for the Lobos, the New Mexico Lobos. Yo, crazy. We seen him go. Was it Arizona earlier? Y'all, he just had like what 4 or 5 rushing touchdowns. He's stupid athletic. He can spin the ball. He's a true dual threat quarterback. Um, I can't remember if he's going on his junior year or sophomore year. I don't want to put that information. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's going to be a junior or a sophomore next year, but the kid is phenomenal. I believe he's going into his junior year, but don't quote me on that. But he's just phenomenal. True dual threat quarterback, fast going over to Utah. And the first thing that popped up to me was Cam Rising is supposed to be going, he's supposed to be coming back for what, his eighth, ninth year or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and now you're going to go get Devin Dampier. So that just let me know that either you want Cam Rising to be a backup, you know what I'm saying? And he knows he's going to be a backup because there's no way I'm not starting Damper that or Dampier, however I believe that's how you pronounce his last name, Dampier. Over, I'm starting Dampier over Rising. I'm sorry to say that what he was able to do with New Mexico, he damn near was that whole offense over there with the Lobos. He damn near was that whole offense. He was that rushing game over there at times. I'm not saying the running back didn't put in work because he did, but and he was able to open up for the passing game and he was passing the ball. So look, a lot of the games that they were in, they largely leaned on him. He came in clutch. I didn't see him turn the ball over a lot of times when they had tough games. And it was crazy because I probably seen him about 4 games. The Arizona game, I watched the Utah State game. I believe they play Utah State. That was a good one. And I went down to the wire. I like that. I liked everything I saw out of Devin Dampier, and y'all get to showcase more once in the Big 12. So you already see the Big 12 trying to go and get their quarterbacks for next year, and especially those teams like that. You know what I mean? Those teams that did bad, such as Utah, and we seen Houston getting the quarterback from Texas A&M, Connor Wegman. But I mean, look, you see Kevin Coleman from uh, Mississippi State went over to Mizzou, and that's another thing I wanted to report on because I believe I said at one point in time I told y'all that I thought that the SEC had something going on to where if a guy was transferring, he had to wait a year to go to another SEC school, you know what I mean? Or he couldn't transfer to another SEC school. So I don't know, but that's SEC type of beef that's going on. And that's not the only one. Kevin Coleman is not the only one. I believe there was another one that I saw um before I had jumped on, you know what I mean? But right now I just don't know. There's so many names on the list, but I thought that's another thing I wanted to report because I didn't know if, well, that's what I was told when I seen that on where did I see that at? I know I seen it on somewhere. The coaches were talking about it or something on some kind of podcast or something. But I believe that that's what was supposed to happen. No SEC on SEC crime. If a guy was transferring from the SEC school, another SEC school couldn't pick him up. Um, but obviously that's not the truth because Kevin Coleman, the wide receiver from Mississippi State, is now going to Mizzou. And when you got that happening, I believe that things can really get out of hand. But as you can see, man, there's just a ton of talent, man. A lot of people that's leaving their schools right now to try to get a bag. Thomas Castellanos, um, he just yesterday he just committed to Florida State University. I think that's a pretty good move, man. I'm not like, yeah, Thomas Castellanos going there. I like his athletic ability, his passing at times. He missed on some throws. I don't know if that has anything to do with his height. I hate to say that it has something to do with his height. I think he's on what 5'9", 196, but he's super athletic. Um, but I do think that he probably would have been a better college quarterback than DJU. You know what I mean? In college, I think that he'll probably be a decent fit at Florida State. Gus Malzahn will probably be able to work some things out with him. I think he'll fit in with that Gus Malzahn type of scheme in the way that Gus Malzahn like to call his offense and run his plays. I think Thomas Castellanos might be a good quarterback for Gus Malzahn, but we'll see. Have to wait and see till next year what happens with that. But that was another pickup that got my attention. I really was, I wasn't too much shocked about that, but hey, I like that, something I wanted to talk to y'all about. A lot of these guys they ain't got a team right now, I think that they're gonna get stuck in the portal, and it's kind of scary, man, because a lot of these guys, I haven't heard their name. I haven't heard their name, haven't seen them on any kind of stat sheets or anything like that. And then, you know, in a video that I had made, and y'all ain't got to go back and watch it, but I'll just repeat this. Like I was talking about how I think a lot of these guys should go ahead and think about going down to the FCS level. You know what I mean? Like you didn't get your shine, and for you to be a backup, and I'm just being honest, right? For you to be a backup on a bad team, not getting no playing time, but now you want to leave and try to get a bag at another Power 4 school or Power 5 school. I don't think that that's likely, and that's not likely to happen. So at this point, drop down a level. You should be able to start at the FCS level. You should, if you are on a Power 5 roster. I'm assuming that, and you know what I mean. I'm not saying that it's a guarantee because they're hungry. You know what I mean, and they're not just gonna roll over and let somebody come in there and take their position. But move down to the HBCU level or go FCS level, HBCU, whatever school you want to choose at the FCS level. Get your shine on, get your hunger back up, get your name up, get your stats, get some film, and then move back up, because I think it's hurting a lot of people too. I think it's hurting a lot of these guys. Now this is just me speculating. I don't know for sure if these guys don't have a team to go to or not. I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know for sure. It's just me speculating on that. And I think a lot of us out here are doing that at this point with a lot of guys that we don't know where they're going. But I think that's a thing that a lot of people's not speaking on. And I think that it should be spoken on a lot more. You don't know your future. Like who is advising you right now? And that's part of this loose culture with these coaches. Like I know a Coach Prime lost a couple of guys with the transfer portal. I seen that Colorado lost a couple of guys. And at this point, I kind of, I don't want to sound like a cult member, but I kind of see where some people coming from. Like you don't want to work. Like why do you want to keep moving around and leaving? You know what I mean? You didn't start on a bad offensive line. Now, do we think that that was a bad call? I think a lot of us thought was a bad call not to start. What's his name? The offensive lineman that didn't start over there at Colorado came from Houston, Tyler Johnson. I thought Tyler Johnson maybe should have seen the field. I mean, the way that they had him ranked 3, 4 in stars, but if you didn't start on that bad offensive line, then something must have been up. You know what I'm saying? Something was up with you character wise. Was it character wise, grade wise, um, whatever, or you just didn't want to work? And a lot of these young men don't want to work, and it's crazy. I'm not saying that for the majority. I'm just saying that for some. You know what I mean? There's something going on for you to end up in the portal and not have somewhere to go. Because if anything, they should have learned from last year. I think there was a point in time where there was 3,000 players, almost 4,000 players that was stuck in the transfer portal. Like, who's advising y'all? I mean, go ahead, like, go somewhere else. Like, you got a guy that's in the transfer portal right now from Tennessee State University from the FCS level. Like, why? Like, he's 6'2", 225, a linebacker. Um, I don't know, man. Like why do that? Why jump in the portal and not have somewhere to go? You gotta have somewhere to go. At this point, you gotta have somewhere to go, man. Robbie Washington, the cornerback from Miami. I get a lot of Miami people watching me. A lot of y'all might be upset what I'm about to say right now. About I don't know if he bought out or not, but the defense was steady getting burnt, let up so many points, and you don't got nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, have somewhere to go. That's all I'm saying. And who's advising these guys, man? But I wasn't going to be up on here long, man. I just wanted to come live, come kick it with y'all for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And because I got to go get the babies here. We got a bad snowstorm going on. They getting out of school early and whatnot. But I wanted to see what a couple of people had to say, if y'all wanted to say anything, or if we wanted to rap about, you know, this Belichick thing, because I think that's huge, man. I'll say it again before I get on up out of here. Like, I think that's huge that Belichick is actually coming into college football. We need a lot more of disciplinary type coaches, and disciplinary type. What do I? Let me explain that. Let me put that in a little bit more context for y'all. Not somebody who's like overly just guys who want them to work, preparing them for the NFL level, because that's why we're seeing bad quarterback play, bad play period in a lot of positions throughout the NFL, because of the lack of training at the collegiate level. You know what I'm saying? Like, so having a guy like having the staff that Colorado has, having the staff that Miami might have, or having a staff that, you know, that's going to be over there at NC. I'm sure that Belichick's going to bring in some of the best guys, is phenomenal. But some of the best staffs that you see that prepare guys in the proper way, or North Dakota State, South Dakota State. I definitely could speak on those guys, because they're definitely preparing their guys as best as they can and doing a damn great job. A couple of guys come up out of there to go to the NFL, and they are successful in the NFL. Trey McBride, coming from North Dakota State, tight end for the Arizona Cardinals right now, was trained well up there at North Dakota State. Didn't go to Power Five school, went to an FCS level school, but got the development he needed to go to the next level, and is one of the best. We got an offensive lineman from South Dakota State with the Pittsburgh Steelers, going to wind up being one of our best offensive linemen. You know what I'm saying? I can see it now. And he's going to be a good offensive lineman for years. Was prepared at South Dakota State. So it's just not at a FBS level where you're going to get the proper training that you need. But I think that's something that these young athletes need to hear more, if not from people like me, and not pundits like myself. Other people out there that's out there training these athletes need to let them know, all right, it's cool to get your bag. I'm all about you getting your bag. Get your bag. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got to be a super big bag, but make sure it's also a place where you're going to be able to have connections to the NFL, number one, you know, and something else. And I think you can't beat going to a place like UNC right now with Belichick, Lombardi, and everybody else he's going to bring in there, or Colorado with Dion and all the connections he may have there, and maybe a Georgia, Kirby Smart. And you know, I mean, they got the connections. If you can't be out of Georgia and get on the roster and make the team there, then you want to think about going to these other places. That's opening up doors that has the connections. And I don't think there's nobody. I don't know for a fact, but Bill Belichick got a whole lot of goddamn NFL connections, a whole lot of them, with owners, so forth and so on. You know what I mean? A whole lot. A lot of people respected the way they didn't respect the way that he coached, and a lot of NFL teams. I get that at the NFL level, grown men don't want you to work that hard, but if you want to go to the league and be prepared to go to the league, I think that's a good fit. I think that's a good fit. Work hard, push them, work hard. You're going to be good for the next level. Now you ain't got to deal with that no more. But still, there's still some guys that get to the NFL level that want to slack off and don't train and don't want to be pushed and work hard, and you get results like that. And I think that it just need more coaches like that throughout college football, man. And that's why you seeing these guys, bringing West Virginia, bringing back their old coach and Rod. You know what I mean? Guys like that. Why? Because they were successful with him. Why? Because he pushed his players. You know what I mean? They played for him. He worked. They got them ready, prepared the right way, and they played hard for him. And that's what you're saying. Like a good coach like Kenny Dillingham. There's a lot out there that surprised us and with the play of their team. Arizona State didn't get a whole lot of transfers. You know what I'm saying? They got a decent amount of that's a lot. They did get a transfer, but Dillingham got the right guys. Dillingham got the right guys, and they played for him. And now they're in college football playoff. You need more coaches like that. You know, they only can accept so many student athletes at a time, or I don't even want to say student athletes. They only can add so many semi-professional athletes at a time at each university. So got 134 schools. You need 134 head coaches like that. And I think that will slow down the transfer portal as a whole, because you're able to give me more than just a bag. Now, if you want a bag, you probably can get a bag and go somewhere where you ain't gonna get trained. But if you can get a decent bag, NFL connections, NFL ties to NIL deals, and so forth and so on, you know where to go. And that's what you got to be thinking about, the future and not just the right now, you know. But look, man, I ain't gonna keep y'all long. I appreciate y'all coming up in here for real. And you know what I mean, kicking it with me for the quick half hour. That's all I wanted to do, was come in here, report on that live, give y'all a chance to beat me up in the comments, say what y'all was gonna say, or come up in here. But salute to y'all, man. Y'all have a good one, man. Stay warm out there. Up north is cold. Y'all don't want that up north life. Straight up, man. Another Truck and Chubby production, man. Peace, y'all.